So, I'm going to go ahead and skip the credentials of the next person. I'm going to go ahead and tell some stories because I get to have the honor of presenting Mr. Bill Ketlesen. Back when I was about 13, I went in for league, and one of the league bowlers that I've known for years, he looked at me and goes, "Hey, Seth." "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "So I hear your dad's going to be the new association secretary for the men." And I gave him that classic teenager blank look that said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And he looked at me and goes, "He's going to be in charge of running all the, getting all the awards and, running the tournaments." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." He'd been on the board before. This is just the next step in the process. I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense. Cool." So a couple years later, I'm about 17 at this time, we're out at Youth State Convention, and one of the board members goes, "Hey, Seth." "Yeah, what's up?" "I hear your dad's going to be the District 6 director starting next year." Now, at least this time, I at least had an idea of what was going on, and I went, "Huh, cool. I'll be graduating in a year. This will keep him out of trouble." It didn't keep him out of trouble. So, it was about 23 years ago, his wife Jolene started being the youth association manager at the time. And she was running the youth state tournament. And for the first couple of years, they had a photographer that would come in and take pictures of all the teams and all the doubles and singles. And it was getting more and more cost prohibitive to have the photographer come in. And he looked at her and he goes, "We could do those pictures. Those printers that they're coming out with, they print really high quality pictures. We get a few of those. I can take pictures and print the pictures instead of having the photographer come in. It'll cheapen the price for the parents, and they'll be able to get it out, and all the money goes to the association." They talked to the board. They're like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So he started taking pictures at the youth state tournament, and thus he's now known as the picture guy at youth state tournament. Well, what does all of this mean? What does it matter? It was each and every one of those was a small step, the next step. What else can he do? What else can he do to help? How can he help? And that ultimately led him here. To be with all of you, to be honored with all of you in front of his family and his friends.
Thanks, Seth. Hello, everybody. I can see how hard it was for Greg to talk up here. It took a long time for it to soak in. We were sitting at the kitchen table one day. Somebody says, "You got to give a speech." I goes, "Yeah." Then somebody else says, "Oh, he's just going to go up there and wing it." That went about a month. We're at supper another night. She says, "How's the speech doing?" I said, "It's doing just fine." The other voice says, "I told you he was going to wing it." And at that time, I probably had the thought that I actually was. I spent plenty of time on this side of the podium. But it was always as a presenter, not a receiver. And that made me think, probably should put a little thought into it. So I didn't know where to start. I can give a story for anything, but I needed someplace to start. So I read my Bible for the first time, and it goes, I thought, if there's enough holes in that, I think I'm going to fill in some of the holes. I was going to tell you about, I came kind of late to the party. I was going to tell you about my first bowling ball. It looked really cool going down the lanes. You got to remember, back then, all bowling balls were black. If they had any coloring at all, they were a dark color. I bought my first bowling ball from Spider Christensen in Recreation Lanes in Clinton, Iowa. It wasn't a very good ball. It was a plastic one. But I never gave up on it. I was young, like trying new things. So I was off trying this thing and another thing, and I'd do it for a while. Pretty soon I'd give up on it. Try something different. Do it for a while and gave up on it. Tried something else. I had a cute little story for each one of them. Why did I pick it? Why did I give up on it? Started realizing that was going to take some time. Then one night at the supper table, how's your speech doing? I said, it's doing fine. And the other one said, are you sure? You're still going to wing it, aren't you? I realized, being a recipient rather than a presenter, I should put more thought into it. And I thought real hard, and I looked at them and I said, I promise I'll cut it down. I'll keep it, I swear, I'll keep it less than an hour. That was one of the times I wish I was wearing a body cam. The look on her face was amazing. And then another voice who was used to speak after that, I looked around and he was suddenly gone. I was there all by myself. I decided it was time to leave. I started putting some thought into it. All the stuff that I was doing was telling you how I got here, but it was taking too much time. I thought maybe I'd tell you why I'm here. We established earlier that I tried different things. The secretary, well, this is where I need some help from the audience. With a show of hands, who would like to throw an 800 series? Come on, be honest. Second question, who wants to throw a 300 game? See, now we're getting more people involved here. Question 3, who wants to be an association or just a league secretary-treasurer? I'm not going to bother counting, but I can tell you it's far less. A secretary-treasurer league has to get there early in the first night. Fill out all the membership cards, collect the membership money. Has to get there every week at league and put the envelopes out. Sometimes while they're bowling, you have to go around and pick them all up. Count the money. Go back to the teams that didn't put enough money in. Count the money out, make sure the house gets their lineage. Hope there's enough money left in there to put in the bank the next day for the expenses at the end of the year. I thought about it. We established that I was into trying new things. I said, what's the worst? That nothing else is like all the previous ones. I end up giving up on it. They got a really neat little shelf underneath there. So I figured, what the heck? I could always quit like I did all the other ones. Turned out I wasn't just too bad at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I was a newbie. I made newbie mistakes. That's just part of life. It wasn't long, something else came along. If I knew what he was going to all say, I, took out half my speech. This came along, and that came along, and here we are tonight. Now, that kind of gets back to how I got here. And I said I was going to tell you why. The why is because it was needed. If we don't have people that steps forward and do things that are needed, where is this sport going to be? I was very careful at the beginning of this to tell you why I gave up on those things. It seems if you do things long enough and experience enough in them, some things just don't become fun anymore. But I never gave up on bowling. The last couple of years, I've had some adults come forward. Said, how long have you been doing this? You were doing this when I was a youth bowler. And now you're here with my kids. I said, I'll let you in on some of it. I'm here with some of the grandkids. He said, well, how much longer you can do this? Give him the standard answer. Until it's not fun anymore. I'm getting dangerously close to losing a bet here, so I'm going to wrap this up real quick. People said I wasn't going to get through it, and I know that I've struggled. There was an entertainer that was in his profession for 7 decades. He ended most of his shows with 4 little words. And I'm going to do the same. If it did it for him, my 5 decades is just fine. Thanks for the memories.
While Bill's been we're going to let you know. If you look way in the back of the room on the table, way back there, you'll see a little camera. Tonight, we are filming this, and it will be streamed on our new website. So you can see the memories of tonight whenever you would like on our new website.